really evaluate another person, I have to come up with what I believe my core values are. Um, so that makes this a little different. I didn't build these with a team. It was things that I came up with on my own. Um, and then I thought, you know, that's really the only way that I can not judge another person, but evaluate another person. And if they fall outside of one of those core values, it's easy to say that, if you're going to be part of the Integra MSP way, is what I've decided to call it, then like if you're not learning, then
Mhm.
that's going to be an issue. And it's not necessarily going to get you exited from the company, but it's something that we just it's going to impact the performance of others.
Having integrity obviously builds that trust from the client side by us having integrity, right? So by having integrity, our clients will be more trusting of us, and that being important. So it's very cool to hear the kind of that definition from the team members, like, hey, what does this mean? Now, obviously, I wasn't forcing everyone to say what each thing means, right? But those that wanted to offer
Right.
up their opinion on that,
Hmm.
right, hey, let's hear it. And some were, would wait. Just, oh, I want to talk about this when we get there. Okay, we'll get there.
I
So here's
love it.
the one that really shocked me the most, and maybe it shouldn't have, but it did, which
Yeah.
is a little bit of reflection of myself, maybe.
Mm.
Communication. Communication was a core value that was selected. I can tell you that I did not vote for communication, but I see it's important. Um, Communication. So then I instantly go, well, geez, is it because I don't communicate enough? Do they feel like there's not enough transparency? That they're not
What are they
informed?
saying about me?
What am I doing wrong? But
Yeah, yeah.
so that's what I said. Hey, obviously this is important. So let's look at this because I want to make sure we understand what that means and address it. Because if that's that important to you, then it's important to
Yeah.
me. Right. Um, so, so my notes are necessarily always the best as I'm trying to scribble things down, but part of this was saying that it helps in understanding and what to do next. Communication, right?
Hmm.
Um, that I got to read my writing. Um, that both internal and external, so both internal facing for team members and team for the team, and external to the client, that they feel it helps with transparency, which then
Hmm.
supports some of the other core values, right? That integrity, right? And I'm like, sure, obviously there's a right time and right place for some of those communications, right?
Yes.
But no, but and want to be misunderstood. I said that about listening to some TED Talks because TED Talks are structured a very specific way for communication and delivery. I'm like, I will take note of that. It looks like I need to watch some TED Talks just to see that reference.
Yeah. I've watched some TED Talks, but I have never watched them to dissect their structure and how they're giving the talk.
Well, you've got
That's
one up
pretty
on me. I
fascinating.
don't think I've ever watched a full TED Talk, or maybe a
Oh,
clip.
really?
No, I mean, I know
They're
there's
pretty
some good
cool.
stuff there.
Yeah, yeah, they're really good. I mean,
So
some of them are not, but usually because it doesn't interest me at all, and I'm like, I thought it would, but it doesn't. But no, I do enjoy them though. Yeah.
And our last and final one kind of, once again, I think falls in line with yours, and that was continuous improvement.
Yeah.
And this is real short. Everything can be improved. Everyone can be improved. Everyone can be better. There's always room for improvement. We talk about that, that 1% a day, that compounding, and the value of that. So
Man,
there's
you
always
got
room
that
for
right.
improvement. I'm trying to improve myself, right, on many different levels. So yeah, that's what we determined. So now that we have these core values, great. We've established core values. Now what's next, right?
Right. Now what?
Now what? So
Yeah.
I do find that these words being used a lot in communication,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And now that we're in teams and we're talking, these words get thrown around a lot more because now we've established those. So we're referencing them quite frequently. So the next phase for us is, okay, great. Now we've defined what our values are as a team, not Marc's values,
Right.
but as a team for the organization. And then it would be, now we start working on who we are and what that means and where we're going as a team. And that reflects back to the conversation we're talking about outside of this was OKRs, right?
Yes.
And
what's an
using
OKR?
those objectives and key results.
Yeah.
So as a team, we're meeting to define those. This isn't, once again, Marc establishing goals. We're establishing team objectives, which is the path that we are going to take. And then those key results to know that we're on the right path.
Yeah. Wouldn't you think, or at least I would think that key results are to have good communication, to be trustworthy, have integrity, and to have all of your core values would be key results to your objective, which is running a tier 1 team.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, I would say think so, especially at a high level, right? Like,
yeah.
As a high level, as a whole, as an organization, 100%.
Because I'm still trying to learn the OKRs, so I'm just kind of trying to put it together with the
I'm
core
with
values.
You. And right here, what do we have? We have radical focus.
Oh man, you actually bought the
paper.
paper.
And we have measure what matters, right?
Measure what matters. That's right.
I also got those in audio book, but
that's what I did. I did the audio book too, but I'm serious. It's like I'm still trying to learn it. So it's like, but you creating the core values. I mean, at the end of the day, it's real easy to know. We, at least I created them, and I believe we created them that way we could build the best team that we wanted to build based on these words. And if at any point something starts to happen, we can look at these words and actually interrogate whatever's happening. Are we all working together as a team? Is everyone being accountable? Are we working with integrity? And then if all of a sudden we realize, you know what? Yeah, somebody lost trust in someone else, and that's going to affect the main objective, which is having a top-notch team.
And if I might have said it, but that too, by having the team help with the core values, it's much easier to get them in the boat rowing with me as a rowing team and not rowing in a different direction. I'm not dragging them to Marc's core values. We've established what's important to them. And it'll be much easier to uphold those core values. And as we continue to grow and bring new individuals on board, if they don't meet not only individuals to work with our team, but also from the client aspect, if they don't align with our core values, they're not a good fit for us. Now we've got these key things, right, that we're looking for. And if they don't align, we're not meant to be.
Yeah, it's so cool because I'm going to go back to another analogy. Sorry, Marc.
Go for it.
A few years back, I joined a rowing group because I'm a runner, for those that don't know, and I hurt my knee. I tore my meniscus, so I had to do something else. So I thought, I like the rowing machine at the gym. How hard could rowing on a lake be? It's actually quite difficult because you don't think of the fact that you have to balance in a boat, because if you don't balance, you fall in the water.
Oh no.
but I think that, and it's called sculling. So I was on a boat when they put us in a boat of 4 people, and everyone has to be accountable. You have to trust each other, and it must be teamwork, because all you need is one person to hit the water. They call the oar a scull, but all you need is one person to hit the water just the wrong way, and everybody's going down.
Oh, wow.
So you have to trust everyone. You have to, the you have to trust the person that's behind you, the person that's in front of you, to do what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
and the thing is, it's not just you running that ship.
Mhm.
Everybody is a part of that ship, and they're all rowing together. And they all own the destination too, right? It's it's they're in control of the destination. They're owning it, and at the end, when they finally finish, whether it be a day, a week, a year, whatever it is, they know that they ran that ship, and they had something to do with it. And if somebody's not doing something right, they don't have to wait on you or someone else to go, gosh, I wish Marc would fix this problem that's going on. It's like, no.
You would, well, instantaneous, you would know that there's that problem and it's got to be addressed on the spot, right? I mean, if you make a mistake, it's
Yes,
quite obvious. Wow.
exactly.
I couldn't, obviously I've never experienced such a thing. I mean, I barely can handle a canoe, or a single person kayak, right? But
I would totally do it. It's really quite fun, and it is quite the workout. It is a lot of fun, but you will get wet. So I
you,
hope if you don't want to fall into a pretty dirty lake,
it might not be for you.
it might not be for you. Yeah, yeah. But that's the deterrent, right? It's like, I'm going to do
Sure.
everything right. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Very cool. Just think where we're going here with this. So the core values. Now, your core values, since you've established those over time, have those shifted much, or you've stuck to those same core values from the beginning?
So it's interesting. They have shifted a little.
Okay.
The ones that shifted were discipline and ownership,
Okay.
even though they're somewhat similar.
Mhm.
But the core values were created in 2021.
Oh, recently.
It's very recent. I did it when I started to realize that it when I started hiring people, which and then I started hiring people long before 2021, but it wasn't on the same level that it was starting in 2020 or 2019. And when I did employee evaluations, it was just like using someone else's like template or something like that. And one of the things that I realized was that in order for me to really evaluate another person, I have to come up with what I believe my core values are. So that makes this a little different. I didn't build these with a team. It was things that I came up with on my own. And then I thought, that's really the only way that I can not judge another person, but evaluate another person. And if they fall outside of one of those core values, it's easy to say that, if you're going to be part of the Integra MSP way, is what I've decided to call it, then like if you're not learning, then that's going to be an issue. And it's not necessarily going to get you exited from the company, but it's something that we just it's going to impact the performance of others, and we're going to try to promote that, and we're going to try to push you for it. And honestly, you may want to leave at the end of the day if you don't. Like, I'm using learning because that's one that some people I find could be complacent, could get complacent in a position.
Sure.
But if they don't want to have that as part of one of their core values in themselves, then it's probably going to be hard for them to want to stay with our company.
Hi, I'm Marc Thomas, founder and CEO of Current Tech Solutions and Cyber Guardians. We know business owners like you want to focus on growing your company, not worrying about IT problems or security threats. That's where we come in. Our team uses AI to protect your business from cyber risks and keep everything running smoothly. If you're ready for peace of mind and a stronger future, reach out to us today. Let's secure and elevate your business together.